Welcome to the Rick Dollar Show podcast. Here's a guy who thought those voices in his head sounded familiar. Your host, Rick Dollar.
My guest on the show this week is the one and only Rick Faris. Rick, I love this record, man. Life's Parade. This is there's going to be a lot of really good songs off this album. I mean, I think I shared a little bit a minute ago of, Bend Don't Break seems to be one of the songs that I like. And we got a real positive response on it with all of our radio affiliates. So
very cool. Yeah. I love that tune. Wrote that with Rick Lang, actually, another Rick squared there. And that came out of our big move here to Kentucky, actually. I spent 3 months here before the family got here, setting up the shop, and kind of almost like you used to have to do to build a life before you could bring the family back to.
Now, I got to talk about this because it's driving me nuts, man. We've got guitar and lead vocals, Rick Faris. I don't know, you probably heard of that guy. Mandolin, Dan Tominski and Harry Clark, but banjo, Ron Block, Russ Carson, Gibson Davis, Laura Orshaw on fiddle, along with Maddie Denton, Mark Schatz on bass. If you had to go back and say, hey, I want to put this guy, this lady, this guy, I want to put all these people on this record. Plus you're working with Dark Shadow. You got, Stephen Mogen on there also. And you're going to have to explain this to me though. Which song is there a devil laugh on?
Yes. That's Lonesome Is Your Name. Yeah. And that song, we wanted to go the Major Creep vibes, but it's a man, it's kind of like an old New Orleans Death March, the vibe, the swing of it, but also like just the tempo of it. It's one of those tunes that just kind of makes me think of hoodoo and voodoo and the devil coming in there laughing at you because you're having such a hard time.
And they're done that a couple times,
Yeah.
But Jason Carter, I think, was the guy for that.
Dude, yeah, he did a great job. He's like, you should get Jerry in here to do that. Everyone says he's got a creepy laugh.
Oh man.
I was like, I can't call Jerry Douglas and said, you know what? All your friends say you have a creepy laugh. You should come in here and be the devil on my record.
Jump right in here.
Yeah, come on.
Not sure how you take that though, Rick. You may not be available the next time you call him. I don't know.
I know, right?
Let's talk about Bend Don't Break. That to me was something that I think is going to set the tone for this record. If people haven't heard anything else on this record, they need to hear that song. I feel.
Yeah, thank you. That it's kind of an embodiment of where I'm at, spiritually, emotionally, and just with my life. I mean, there's pulling up stakes from in Kansas there and moving out to Kentucky and starting, a business in a new state. Especially one that requires a bunch of heavy machinery and 2 moving trucks. Like if I had known how hard it was, I probably wouldn't have done it, but like, I'm so glad I didn't know how hard it was going to be because honestly, it's been the hardest I've ever worked in my life. And this album was right in the middle of it, it's right smack dab in the middle of all that. And it just, I don't know. It's so been worth it. We have a wonderful community here in Owensboro. Right. And, it made really most of the album was written during time here or time in transition coming to here. So it made me lean on my faith and friends and relationships and just I don't know. This album wouldn't be what it is without the move. So.
But would you say that you've grown some since you've started all this?
Absolutely. Learning that you can do hard things is, I think, crucial to forward momentum in your life. And it's definitely, sometimes you have to see somebody's done it first, and then you're like, okay, it can be done, so I will do it. But um, I would say that I absolutely would do it again. But it's just been an exercise in faith and an exercise in patience, and fortitude.
Yeah, I prayed for patience one time. Not the smartest thing I did either. Right.
You get that thing that's going to give you patience, don't you?
That was pretty dumb. All right. Now, 2024 IBMA Songwriter of the Year. That's
Yeah,
nothing to
that's
sneeze at, brother. I mean,
still crazy. I
you
still
hang,
can't.
you're hanging out with Brink Brinkman and Rick Lang, and we're gonna actually bring up another songwriter that maybe a lot of people aren't real familiar with, but they
Yeah,
will be by the time we get done, no doubt
there
about it.
you go.
So Ben don't break, but I mean, what's your other choice on this record, man?
Oh man, I would say probably Bridge of Dreams, because it's another one of those fight the good fight, not because it's easy, but because it's worth fighting, you know. And this is actually a story that Evan Dickerson, who is the co-writer for this
Yeah, man.
song, he came up with this idea, and he brought this story to me, and I just thought it was so cool, and it's different. It's a real life story. Um, it's this bridge that was abandoned by the Pennsylvania Railroad, the Pennsy Railroad line, and it built towns. It brought life to a region, and then it just kind of went away and kind of started to fall into decay. And the local town was deciding what to do with it. And a lot of people said, just tear it down, man. Well, like, why are we even talking about this? There's nothing we can do. It won't be a waste of money. And um, some folks said, that they wanted to make it a trail and make it a covered bridge. And they looked at the dollar sign on that and they said, "You're crazy. That's a bridge of dreams right there."
Whoa, there you go.
Yeah. And the naysayers named it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was like, as soon as I heard it, I was like, dude, we have got to write this story. It's such a cool, it's like something you'd see in a movie, but it happened in real life.
Yeah.
So
Well, you never know, in life where uh, I guess motivation's going to come from. I mean, Rick Lang used to tell me that. I would talk to him every once in a while, and he would say, "Hey, you just don't know where it's going to come from."
yeah,
Brink was the same way. He would,
yeah,
he would talk about his life when he was younger, and like I said, it's the motivation thing, dude.
yeah. I mean, you just never know what's going to inspire a song, and I don't know. Sometimes you get one little word or something stuck in your head, and you're like, oh, that makes me think of this, and this, and then you're right. You're off to the races. So
Almost like a magical thing that happens, or it's something that's supposed to happen at a certain place and a certain time. And I'm
yeah.
sure that's the way songwriting is. I mean, I can't write my name hardly, but sure have never tried to write a song. So,
Yeah, I mean, I've been writing songs since I was like the 12 or 13. My mom was a songwriter, my dad was a songwriter. So like I've been at this a while and not seriously until, I was with Special Consensus for a number of years that I picked the pen back up and try to really start doing it again. Um, but I felt like I had grown past that, oh, I want to write a murder song because it's gonna be awesome, and it's like, no, man, like um
always a murder song on every record. Okay, that's
yeah, so it's I think by the time I had a kiddo, and Parker is our special needs kiddo. He's autistic, and by the time life had hit and I had some experience, um, I felt like I actually had something to say that was more than just making something up. Um, I felt like if I could put positive in the world and maybe pass on some knowledge that would be helpful to some folks, or just help them realign their perspective for gratefulness, that might encourage somebody to have a better life. And why wouldn't we want to do that for our fellow man?
Well, I
So
mean, that's what it's all about. I
yeah,
think that's basically why people have talents bestowed on them. And I know that's a big word to say for coming from me, but they come to you for a reason.
yeah, yeah. And we don't want to waste it. You've got to find out what you're supposed to do with it, and don't forget who gave it to you. And I firmly believe that as well. I mean, I I had a love for this music as a kid that was not normal. Um, at age 13, I was turned loose at bluegrass festivals by my parents, and I was out jamming till 1 or 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I just was completely ate up with it. And it took talent that was there, that was bestowed, but it took love and finding a community to nurture that and take that forward. So I can't, really, I just was having fun, and I can't take a whole lot of credit for anything because it definitely was a gift, but it definitely was too much fun to just let it sit there and sour.
Well, I mean, you're talking about the love of bluegrass and the love of music in your life, but this bench behind you here,
Oh
there
yeah.
there's a lot of beauty back there, and I mean I understand
Yeah.
a lot of this stuff, but when did that kind of overpower what you were doing? And
Oh, it's kind of crazy because well, specifically you mentioned the bench behind me. That's my grandfather's bench. He made it before I was born, and it was bequeathed to me after Grandma passed.
wow,
And it's he cut every board by hand. He drilled every drill hole with an arm brace. I mean, done completely by hand, no power tools. So there was a lot of love in that bench, and it also illustrated just in one more way how powerful Grandpa was as a man. He just the the football coaches wouldn't do anything with him because he was on the farm team. It's just like there's nothing we can do to make you stronger. Just learn the plays. That's all we need to do. Just show up and learn the plays.
we got some
Um,
cool looking chisels back there. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, I've got lots of chisels
I
and
can
lots of
understand what
files and saws, and um, that's pretty much everything you need to build a guitar behind me. But yeah, it's my main bench, and I've built a bunch of guitars on it, and I'm just grateful for that. But Dad was a musician. He was not a woodworker, so I just kind of I grew up. I wasn't supposed to be at Grandpa's bench, but I was messing around on it as a little kid, and um, I was the first thing I made on it was a saddle for a guitar.
that's cool.
Yeah, and Dad thought it was really cool. So then I got permission because I had made something and had not drilled a hole in the wall or done something crazy, set the bench on fire. I got permission that I could go down there and do some stuff with it. But yeah, the family unanimously agreed that it needed to go to me and I'd put it to good use. But Luthery, I started it at a very young age as well. I was about 15 or 16 when I got my first apprenticeship. Um, and that was with Leo Posh. Leo Posh is a guitar builder. He's renowned. He's a phenomenal guitar builder. But I actually built the first guitar to come out of his shop. He was just a repairman then. I mean, I say just. He was a renowned repairman.
Great.
Was Yes, yeah, working on pre-war Martins. People like Jimmy Ibbotson from the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band would take a guitar to Leo for a complete restoration. Leo was very well known, and he and I actually took Jimmy Ibbitson's 37D18 and we looked inside it and we took measurements and didn't take anything apart that wasn't already coming apart, but we looked at it and we took lots of measurements and we kind of just reverse engineered it. And we're like, okay, well, here's these sticks on the back and the grain's oriented this way. Let's just make that. How do we do it? Well, we go to the bandsaw and cut up some brace wood and shave it down by hand. But we didn't have luthier tools. We had repair tools, but no guitar building tools. So we had to make some tools, and a lot of the stuff was just done by hand.
Hey y'all, this is Sierra Hull. Make your plans now for IBMA World of Bluegrass. It's in the new home, Chattanooga, Tennessee, September 16th through 20th. You can enjoy showcases, seminars, the IBMA Award Show, and the Weekend Festival too. Get all the details at ibma.org.
Welcome to My Appalachian Home. Each week we journey into the heart of Appalachia. Its stories, its music, its people, and its traditions. From the front porch to the winding back roads, I'll share the rich tapestry of life of this one-of-a-kind region that I call home. Settle in and discover the spirit of Appalachia, one story at a time. I got an opportunity not long ago, and not to, go over here left of center.
No, you're good.
I got to spend some time in Wayne Henderson's guitar shop.
Oh man, see, I'm jealous. I've never been. I would love to go someday.
Dude, I was like a kid in a candy store. I was like, hey, so what's this? And why do you do this? Now, of course, Wayne wasn't there. The lady that ran the entire Henderson School of Appalachian Arts was there. And I think she knew about as much about it as he did. Catherine Shrinker. It was amazing to me what she could come up with, and she was highly, highly decorated person in every other art that you could think of. And Wayne actually had to teach her a lot of stuff. But you were talking about cutting braces. That seems to be the first thing that he makes everybody do, is learn how to cut braces.
Yeah, it's important, and a lot of people don't realize that reading grain and run out and all that stuff is super important, and taking time to do small details right. Mm-hmm. It shows you're ready to handle the next thing. We do some coursework here as well. We have a guitar building class that you can come and take. We do an apprenticeship program that's right now active. Our first apprentice is a year and a half in. And he's just completed his fourth guitar, and he's on a deep dive, so he's learning everything. But yeah, so it's one of those things where any job, if it's done right, it should take a while to learn, and it should take a while to execute it perfectly. So
what freaks me out is let's just look back at what we've been talking about here for the past I don't know, just a few minutes. First of all, at 13 years old, they're just like cutting you loose at a bluegrass. Could be that, you got to have good car insurance to do that kind of stuff. But,
yeah. It was all walking distance at that point. 13 years old, I wasn't driving.
I call it car insurance. I mean,
yeah.
But you learned a lot. And you've learned something that can actually put food on the table.
Yeah.
And
I made friends for life too back then. I remember the very first jam session I ever went to. Two of those friends have passed, but like they stayed friends until they were gone.
Yeah.
And the rest of them are still lifelong friends. So it's really a community. It's like a family, that doesn't have all the things to just gripe and complain about.
Well, I keep looking behind you, and I'm sorry that I keep doing this, because I see the name of this record.
Oh, this is really cool. So a friend of mine, Jamie Ford, actually gifted me with this the night of the release party.
Yeah.
And she is a laser artist. And so like she cut all these pieces out, layered them up, and it's 3D too. So like my hand sticks out farther in the background, but she did all the hand painting of the paisley on the shirt even. I mean, in the pick guard. I mean, she did a stellar job. And it's this guitar right here too. So it's like she nailed it. But it's a lot of fun and that's another thing too about coming to Owensboro is meeting talented folks like Jamie and being able to up my game in terms of quality of outcome. If I want to now, I can laser burn in a dedication to somebody on the neck block that's just really cool and personalized. It's just very, very cool.
Well, the point I think I really need to make to you, just from where I'm coming from, life's parade. You've started a pretty good little life here, Rick.
It's really amazing. I feel insanely blessed. Currently very challenged in terms of like things to get done and when to get them done by. It seems like everything's kind of happened at once, but it's been incredible, and it's a walk that's brought me closer to my creator and my family, and that's nothing but grand. So it's learning that that life's a parade and something to be celebrated. That's been pretty phenomenal.
Life is very much a parade because what you've started and what you're going to be continuing to do with your life on down the road was started by somebody that wanted you to understand the beauty of music.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, who else could say that they played with special consensus? Wrote all these killer songs. You've met just about everybody that you want to meet, besides Jesus, I think. But
yeah, he'd be a cool one.
It'd be a heck of a conversation, let me tell you. But the point is, life is a parade, and you got to just keep taking that step forward. And you've done that magically. It's just an incredible thing that you're doing here, Rick. And kudos.
Well, I really appreciate that, Rick. It's I find that the perspective is everything. There are some days where if I don't have the right perspective, I'm not getting anything done.
Nope.
But knowing that each day is a gift, and each person who walks in the door, could be a relationship that you cherish for the rest of your life. Could be a customer who will take care of your family. It's just, if you live life with the right mindset, things can be a parade. It can stay awesome. Even the hard days, there's a reason to celebrate, because anything worth doing should be hard.
Sure. I've learned one thing about what I do. Usually, if there's a little bit of a struggle before something happens, that's great.
Yeah.
Because, man, I can't wait to see what comes out on the other side.
Yeah.
I mean, because something you can look at later and say, wow, I built that guitar. Or, remember this conversation I had with, whoever. It's just amazing. Life is going to always be that way. But finding that and realizing that a lot of times is really hard. Like you're talking about, been a lot of struggles and a lot of work and things like that. But, I think you're exactly where you're supposed to be at the exact right time that you're supposed to be there.
Well, I surely believe that. And I thank you very much. It's, I live a life that I'm very grateful for. And, I have an amazing family that that takes care of me in terms of just loving me back and helping me be a better person. You know, I mean, I wouldn't be who I am without my boys. That really, gave me introspection, to the chance to step back, look in a mirror, and ooh, you know what? I saw that in my kid, and I know that's me. I've always said that, I think kids are your finishing school as an adult. It's what shows you, oh, okay. Yeah, I really need to change that. I'm modeling behaviors that I don't particularly like when I see it in my kids.
Yeah,
I need to lead by example. Yeah.
totally understand. Let me tell
Yeah.
you, grandchildren sometimes, and I'm like, oh gosh, where did he hear? Oh, he heard that from me.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to shut up next time, I think you named the record perfectly. And I mean, everything on this record is going to be like a stair step kind of thing. That's what I've seen just by listening to it. It's going to be a futuristic kind of thing for you. I think you're going to be able to look at this in 5 years and say, man, that was a good record. But, the reason that it's a good record is because I did it the way I was supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's definitely a community effort. I mean, Stephen and Jan Emojan, are, I mean, not only pushing it as the record label, but Stephen's all over this project in terms of, he's the producer, he's the recording engineer, he's the baritone singer, for most of this record. But he hears even the raw songs as they're going down on just me and a guitar, and he hears the potential sometimes quicker than I do. Or there's a few times where I hear something and he's not convinced yet, and he says, "Convince me." Re-demo it, like make me believe it, what, or the everything's great except this bridge. You need to do something there.
I've never been in the studio with him, but man, the first time I get a chance, I'm sitting in on something because I got to see how this works.
Yeah, it's great, and he's honest, and he's not
He's on.
unkind. He's just very clear and direct, and that's the best kind of criticism. My guitar building, I took each guitar to a friend, Jim Baggett, there in Mass Street Music in Lawrence, Kansas, and I said, "Tell me what I'm not doing right yet." And he was very happy to help me grow as a luthier, and had literature or luthiers to recommend. So it's you don't grow without critique. You don't grow without fixing things and making it better. So Steven's a huge part of my learning curve in music and just making the Rick Faris brand what it is. I've got to give him a massive shout out for that.
Yeah. There's guys like that, man, that I've looked back in my life, and, guys I was in a radio business with, and I would be like, gosh, how can I do this better? And they would do the same thing that you're hearing from Steven.
Yeah.
You're just wait, just work on it a little bit more. Let me hear it one more time.
Yeah.
And we don't see that sometimes, you and I, because we're asking questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
We probably already know the answer to.
Yeah. Conversely, we'll also, oh, well, it's not perfect yet. And then Steven says, "No, that was the take." And you're like, "Seriously?" And he's like, "Yeah, listen to what you just sang." Click. And you hear it with ears of a listener and not the performer. You go, "Oh, I did not realize what that had." And he's like, "Yeah, that's got some magic there. We need to leave that alone."
Dude, I think you're with a good bunch of people that are going to help you make even better records than you're making now. And I can't wait to hear the next one. I mean, this one is typical Rick Faris right here. I remember a long time ago you did a song about moonshine.
Oh yeah.
And man, when I heard, and I think that one really got me. And if I remember correctly, I called you up and I was like, dude, you could do this with this and that with this and this with this. And yeah, I think you had to rein me in a little bit and say, all right, I got you, man. I could eat dinner right now. But
yeah, it's fun.
What your talent can like morph into. And
well, thank you.
So yeah, kudos to you, man. Well, I'm gonna let you do what you have to do because you got looks like you got a lot of work and stuff back there, you know.
Oh yeah. There's no shortage of instruments to be built, and it's kind of crazy because production is just way up. Even though even though I'm training an apprentice now, even though we're building jigs, we're building new tools and learning to use new tools. Things are just rolling, and they're really just getting up to steam. So I'm super excited to see what this year turns out.
So with this record and your life,
it's I feel real passionate about the music, obviously, or we wouldn't have recorded it. But I feel like I'm finally setting the tone that I want to for the world, because that you can add to the cacophony of negativity that's going on in the world, or you can try to do some good.
Famous words from Rick Faris. Hey, get Life's Parade right now. It's out everywhere. And of course, it can be streamed everywhere also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We appreciate that too. So add it to your catalog. Yeah, right. Run those numbers up as well. I appreciate it.
So when you go on Spotify and you listen to the Rick Dollar Show, hey, click over on Rick Faris's page there too, and give him a like and a shout out there.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. Thank you very much for sitting down with us today, man.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate it, brother.
Yes, sir. We will talk to you soon. Rick Dollar here for the Rick Dollar Show. And I've been talking to my old buddy, Mr. Rick Faris.
This has been the Rick Dollar Show podcast. The Rick Dollar Show podcast is produced by Radio Dog Productions. Theme music is written and performed by Jeremy Garrett at garrettgrass.com. The Rick Dollar Show podcast cannot be reproduced or rebroadcast without express written consent from Radio Dog Productions. I'm Kent Jones, and this has been a Radio Dog production.